Hi everyone, this is Karen Frith. Welcome to the Consultant Collective series. I've spent the last 10 years working with and learning from some of the best consultants in the market, and now many of them are joining me to discuss how they've built a thriving business, how they've survived huge shifts in the marketplace, and to share the secrets of their success with you. The one question everyone asks me is, how do I start my own consulting business? So the Consultant Collective series will provide answers. Join me and some of the most experienced consultants in my network to learn, apply and share strategies to grow your consulting business. My name is Karen Frith and welcome to the Consultant Collective series.
So, Danny, you and I met through our sons a few years ago, interestingly enough. It's amazing how the universe conspires to bring like-minded people together. So, and it's great. I think their relationship has gone from strength to strength, and we've managed to sort of keep in touch as well. And I've followed your progress with interest, because you definitely sort of personified what many contractors in my community aspire to. So you've built up a fairly niche consultancy that is somewhat protected from market volatility, because you've identified your ideal client, I think, extremely well. And you've managed to carve that niche out where from the outside looking in, it does look as if you've ridden over the pandemic and you've managed to build that business up, as well as splintering off another business, which during a huge global pandemic is just an amazing thing, which I'm really keen to explore. But you then, through your niche consultancy, bring on other consultants and effectively manage them at arm's length. So it's the natural progression. The way I sort of train and teach contractors is that they start off as a one-man band, they build out a consultancy where they can bring other contractors in to ultimately move into that entrepreneurial position that says, actually, I'm running multiple businesses, I'm protecting my income stream, all that type of stuff. So as I say, you're the personification of that, because you've gone through that journey. It's great that you can manage, other contractors, other consultants, and have that extra revenue stream, because I do know that you and your family do like to take foreign holidays to really exotic places. And one of my strap lines for my business model is that, with the consultants I work for, I don't care where you are. You can be on a beach in Bali, but if you set your business up, you can run it from anywhere. And that's got to be the lifestyle, I think, that we all aspire to, that work-life balance. Well, it's not a balance, is it? You are living the life that your business model supports, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So that's great. And what I'd like to explore a little bit further, if you don't mind, is, what opportunities did the pandemic actually give you? What did you do that you may not have done without COVID?
Yeah, okay, no problem. So yes, the consultancy Assured Thought that's been running for 5 years now. So that we went into the pandemic, and that business, there were concerns. No one really knew what was going to happen. But actually we rode the storm really well. And by working with the financial companies in London that had already been through their big upheaval back in 2008 with the crash, they seemed a little bit more resilient than most business. And obviously they weren't in retail, they weren't in travel. So, they were able to themselves ride the storm reasonably well as well. And so yeah, it was a case of batten down the hatches this time last year, back in February, March time. But actually the amount of work and transformation probably accelerated because of COVID. It forced companies to really go for the digital transformation. They had to go online. They had to get their systems online. They started adopting the cloud technologies more. And our company, Assured Thought, do software testing for primarily wealth management firms and investment management firms. So, whereas we thought a lot of projects would probably just die off and, they'd see what happened, there was a slight lull, and then actually they accelerated, and a digital transformation journey that they embarked on, they really went for it. And as a consequence, the upgrades they were doing to their software, the new software they're bringing in, meant that what we do, which is software testing and quality assurance, there was more work. So that was fantastic. So that's one aspect. And then, during that, so again, about this time last year, myself and my new business partner, who is in the Workday space, which is a SaaS platform again for HR and finance. So we were looking to get that business off the ground, and we had some really good ideas about accelerators that we could offer clients, solutions we could offer clients. So if I'm honest with you, pandemic gave us that opportunity to accelerate that business startup. We were able to, more than anything, we got time back. I wasn't traipsing into London for client meetings face to face, all those sort of things. And suddenly I had many hours in my day, to use. And as a consequence, we could really spend that time and become creative. I think there's going to be a lot of creativity that's going to come out of the pandemic, be it music or TV or video. And we put that creativity into a new business, which is really exciting. And that's really taking off now.
So you were able to use the time wisely by the sounds of things. Did the Assured Thought business grow in any way? Did you take on any more consultants? Because I think by finding the niche, although financial services themselves went through certain challenges, you found a niche in the investment management, the high net worth, where effectively they had to service their clients, are very discerning, aren't they? So, did the work come through and allow you to grow that business using consultants, or was it just keeping things steady?
To start with, it was keeping things steady, but actually, at times of crisis like we had, that's when the companies we provide services to actually come to the fore, because their own clients are actually nervous about their money, their investments. So that's when they earn their crust, actually. When times are good, everyone's happy. But when the crisis happens, they want to know their money's safe. They want to know their money's invested wisely. They want to know that, their future is secure. And so those companies come to the fore. And in the background, they need to keep on servicing those clients. So, that's where we came in with all the software upgrades that the clients had to do.
Yeah.
We were quality assuring that. And by niching in that area, more fortune than anything, but that's where our experience as a company is in wealth management, in investment management. We were lucky. If we were working with retail companies or travel companies, it probably would have been a very different story. So we're very, very grateful for that.
Yeah, I think you make your own luck, and I think you've chosen wisely, but you've probably put an awful lot of effort in order to sort of safeguard the business, family lifestyle, consultants that work with you. So yeah, well done. Not everybody was sort of able to step up, and then in parallel, or once you got that business settled, you've created a new business. How did you actually manage the inception of that, given that we were all isolating, all in lockdown? Was it a lot of Zoom calls? Was it a lot of collaboration virtually with your partner?
Yes, I mean, Stephen and I had known each other for a long time anyway, so we were friends previously. That was, but we'd worked together as well. And so we already had the seed of the idea to create Lightwork and to create this business that could support clients on the Workday platform. But actually, it probably just gave us that opportunity. And, obviously the initial lockdown, it was just telephone calls and Zoom. But when the first lockdown lifted, we actually ended up in a room together with whiteboards, the classic. Stephen had all the knowledge in his brain. I kind of had the business wherewithal in terms of how you create products that you can then sell. So it was a case of extracting his knowledge, his ideas out of his head, and then building, structured products that we could then market to companies on the Workday platform. And it was an exciting time. It was just that creativity was fantastic. And, it without a doubt, in a funny way, the pandemic gave us that time to really think it through without all the added pressures around us and having to travel and all that sort of stuff. It was fantastic. And, and they say that 20% of the stuff you do can become 80% of your future earnings. And it really felt like that within maybe 3 or 4 days of really intense activity. We built a company, we built the foundations of a company with the ideas, the products, the models, the methodologies that are now, earning us, a lot of, in terms of revenue, a lot of revenue, and delighting our clients as well.
Excellent. There's a couple of things that I wouldn't mind exploring a bit further. I mean, it goes into the same sort of theme, but some of the contractors that I work with are struggling to think about a service or a product that they can package up. Okay, so those that were with a client last year, so heads down, just kept themselves in business, ticking over, without being able to lift their head and think, right, well, how do I do this, that? They've got challenges around business development. They've got challenges around monetizing their knowledge, their intellectual property. But I firmly believe a lot of it is because it's not their total focus. Their focus is, 9 to 5, they go and they work for a client, which is the typical contracting model in the UK. And then they come out and they never take that time out of their business to grow their business. And it's a big shame from my observations that they're so close to being able to really nail what they need to do. But you actively pursued that model last year. You both got in a room together, and you've managed, I think, to create something that others can only dream of, but you've done it in a way that makes sense, certainly to me. You've taken yourself out of the day-to-day, and it's that incubator process that says, what do we need to do, all of the different touch points. So is there any sort of advice that you can, other than getting in a room and whiteboards and good old-fashioned process mapping and documentation, that type of stuff, is there any advice that you could give from a product development point of view? Any insights about the how you approached what you've done?
Yeah, absolutely. It's what's amazing, and you alluded to it, Karen, is that actually people can't see the wood for the trees. And I was the same. So I was a consultant. I was a testing consultant. I was a test manager. My 15, 20 years of experience was software testing. But like you say, you go to work every day, you do your job. What we're all doing is we're all sat on top of this mountain looking out at the rest of the world. We're looking out at all the other companies and all the things they do and think, oh, isn't that incredible? I wish I could do something like that. Without actually looking at the 15, 20 years of experience you're sitting on. And you're sitting on that incredible amount of knowledge. And what's really funny is the stuff you take for granted, the stuff that you just do without even thinking, is the powerful stuff. That's the valuable stuff. That's your IP. Yeah. It's the thing that you take to a client, and when they're in, when you, as a consultant or as a contractor, you're delivering your day-to-day stuff, and there's probably a lot of stuff you do during the day that you don't even think about. You take it for granted. And it's about actually looking deep inside of your own experience and knowledge and finding those nuggets that you could maybe productize, and if you can niche in on a particular client, and I don't actually mean niche in the terms of a general industry, try and really, really, really niche, get right down into that specifics of one specific type of client that you could help. Doesn't mean to say you can't, service other clients, but it gives you a very clear focus. And so if someone's Googling for that very specific skill that you've got that just they want, you're going to be top of the list. And so that's my advice, is just look deep inside yourself, because you will have nuggets of gold in there, your IP, your own personal IP that you can productize.
I love that. I keep saying to them every time I meet a new contractor, they come into the academy, and I go, well, what makes you different? I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile and it says you're a project manager. There are hundreds, thousands of project managers out there. What is it that makes you stand out? And that's what we've got to amplify, because you can do all of the project management stuff in your sleep. You've either got specialized industry knowledge, specialized system, or just a way, an opinion, a way of dealing with the problems that the client faces that are brand new. It's not something that they've ever seen before. So that's how you open the door. Once they get past that, and here's another question for you, it's that business development and finding the clients that they all struggle with. Okay, and I'm a big fan, so I'm not a salesperson, I'm a big fan of content marketing, of inbound marketing, of just putting value out into the universe, and they come and find you. It's a bit more of a long game, but it's a bit more elegant from my point of view. There's none of the cold calling or that type of stuff. how have you gone about, something that's really practical? How have you gone about finding clients for your new business?
Okay, yeah, there's two aspects from our point of view. First of all, it's our network. So we've got fantastic relationships with Workday themselves, but also, we've got industry contacts that we can call upon, and so that's obviously invaluable.
Yeah.
And your network is always worth its weight in gold. You always want to leverage that. But absolutely, these days, knowledge isn't the power. It's the delivery of that knowledge that you sell effectively. And I totally agree with you. It's about getting content out there, especially these days, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Get your ideas out there, niche down, be very clear about who you're servicing, but get your ideas out there, and people will it could be videos, it could be blogs, it could be articles. We're actually writing a book at the moment, and that's a great way of distilling your ideas in very clear format. We're working with a publisher, and we're looking to get that published in the summer, and the book is targeting exactly our clients. It's saying to HR leaders, finance leaders, how do you get the most out of your investment that you're making in Workday? And by writing the book, it means that you really do consider them, because you're writing for them, but you're also really getting into the crux of what your methodologies are, and being very clear in your mind how you deliver those. And once you've got this content, it can be repurposed. We can do podcasts, we can take the podcast, we can create blogs out of it, you can do articles, white papers. But it's about getting knowledge out there. Don't hold that knowledge in. Give away your knowledge, because it doesn't matter if people use it. What really matters is how we deliver it. And what we do is we focus all our energy onto incredible delivery that wows our clients. So that why would they go anywhere else? And so it's taking our knowledge, our IP, and then delivering a remarkable service.
You know what? I love that, because I think you can give your knowledge away, because as we all know, who've been in this game for any length of time, the implementation of that knowledge is where the gold dust is. Okay, so we know how to take that and make it live and breathe. We know how to implement, we know how to deliver, and as you say, once you've done it once, why would they go anywhere else? You build that loyalty and that trust, and then when a pandemic or something like that does hit, heaven forbid it won't hit again anytime soon, but that know, like and trust element means that they go back to you, because they don't want to start afresh with other people. They don't want to create those relationships. They haven't got time to. So that's brilliant, to be honest with you. That's it just feels as if a little bit of validation for everything that I've been saying to the team. And it's like, you personify, you've done all of that. And I can't wait to read the book, to be honest with you. I think that's a great way of sense checking whether your thoughts make sense when you're not there. Because one of the big things about running your own business is it has to exist without you, because otherwise it just becomes a noose around your neck. It's not something then that allows you to live the lifestyle that you want to live. So So let me know when it's due out. Send me the link on Amazon, and I
will. Don't worry. We'll send out. There'll be a 99p special, that's for sure. But it's but you're right. I mean, without putting that content out there, it doesn't matter how it's done. Once it's out there, it's a living, breathing thing. It doesn't go anywhere. A video on YouTube just lives forever. The podcast lives forever. The book. One of the things we do, we're not looking to make money out of the book in terms of sales, because I can't believe that many buyers out there that are going to be, but we're very niche on the book, and that's coming back to that niching point. But what we'll be doing is every time someone connects with us, however it might be, through the website, whatever, we'll send them a free book, and it's just another way of getting our ideas to the possible end client. And they might not be looking to buy then and there. They might buy in 3 years' time. But our sort of philosophy on all of this is that we'll let the other companies fight over the people that are looking to buy there and then, because that's a scrap, and that's a race to the bottom. It's all about lowest prices. What we're doing is we're nurturing the longer term clients by getting that content out there. You start to hopefully build fans in your business, fans in what you're doing. They they believe your ideas, they relate to them, it resonates with them, so that when they are ready to buy, they'll probably come to us, hopefully, rather than someone that they don't know because they're already a fan.
And it's those advocates in the organisation, and if you continue with that front of mind awareness where they constantly see it, I call it the drumbeat. You don't jump up like many contractors do. Sort of every 6 months they jump up and go, my contract is over, hire me, and then they go dark again for another 6 months. It's not the way to run a business. So.
No, I mean, I think, I know what you're doing, which is awesome, working with consultants and contractors and sort of trying to get their mind shift out into, being a proper business and doing the things that proper businesses do. So we work with a lot of consultants, and kind of as part of the, obviously we use them to deliver our services, but I also, mentor them as well. And it's the same conversation. You've got to think differently, especially with IR35 and all the challenges there are for contractors. Yeah. You can't, it's not going to work anymore. You can't just, stick the little circle around your picture on LinkedIn saying ready for new opportunities. It's you're going to get caught out in the long run, I think. But also, if you want to differentiate yourself, you've got to be out there. You've got, focusing on what your skill is, niche on it, and get your profile raised up so that people come to you.
Yeah, no, excellent. And it's great to hear somebody else say that as well. So I might just take that as a little snippet and start to put that on a loop and start to play it. Okay, let's move on, because this is something that I'm really, really interested in. So your partnership, okay?
Yeah.
I have been stung in the past, I have to say, by people that I've known for years, I've worked with, I haven't known, I haven't worked with. So I've tried every single mix out there, and none of them have really worked. So how are you making it work? Is it because you're physically in the same location? I noticed that you've got a new office space. What are the hints for me personally? How can I create a partnership that will work?
Yeah, well, I think it's a good question. I don't know if there is. I think it is luck. I think I know people that have been 100 million% certain that a partnership is going to work, and it doesn't for whatever reason. I would never go more than a two of you in a partnership. I know some contractors that have looked to get like a cooperative together.
Yeah,
that is a road to ruin, because there's too many pitfalls. There's too many variables involved. I mean, Stephen and I, we've been friends for a long, long time. We've worked together. We've spent personal time together. But there are still days when we find it challenging. You disagree about things, but, I think we've got that understanding whereby we can challenge each other and know it's never personal. It's about building the business and building something special.
Yeah.
And I think it probably does help, living in the same area so that we can meet up on a regular basis. We're quite different personalities. I didn't actually realize that before the business, but actually Stephen's got so much passion about what he does, more than I kind of gave him credit for, actually. But that passion's brilliant. It's it just transmits when he's talking to clients, and they absolutely love it. And I'm still passionate about it, but maybe I'm kind of more the level-headed one in the background, keeping things calm and just making sure everything in the background is as it should be to enable him to sort of thrive. I don't know if there's a secret. I really don't. And I'm not even sure we've got it ourselves yet. We'll find out. But, so far, so good.
Yeah, yeah. Did you actually think about splitting the roles, or have you just sort of naturally gone into, as you said, maybe more front of house and back office? Because I know you do quite a lot of business development work as well. So, there's a lot of effort up front, and then there's a lot of effort in delivery. So you've got to make sure that it's equitable, the amount of time spent and that type of stuff.
Yeah. And we're still working that out, actually. We literally had a discussion. We've been working together for over a year now. And, we're doing a lot more on social media. We're doing a lot, like podcasts and what have you. And we're trying to work out what our roles are. How do we differentiate ourselves? Yeah. And actually, we kind of reached a conclusion. I don't know if this will stick, but, very much because of Stephen's detailed Workday knowledge, he's very much the product person, I guess. Yeah. He's got that domain knowledge. He knows all about Workday. He knows the pitfalls. He's worked on some really big, complex global projects. So that's where his experience comes in. So I think we're going to take the route that he's going to be very much, on that product side, working with the delivery team, shaping up future products, that we can go forward with. And in parallel with that, I'm kind of looking at, I for want of a better word, the visionary side of it. So, our bigger purpose, beyond making money and servicing clients, what's our biggest purpose? And we're passionate about equality and diversity and inclusion, because we believe Workday can unlock that for companies. It can unlock their data and actually shine a light on how well they're doing on that front. And I want to talk more about that side of it. So it's the bigger picture stuff. And I think when it comes to the actual running the business, we kind of just naturally find I tend to be on the slightly more creative side, whereas Stephen's more the sort of numbers side, but it's still a bit loose. We're still finding our way, and sometimes you just go with what interests you more, right? So as long as we're not stepping each other's toes, it kind of works.
Yeah, excellent. I like the idea about the vision, and I think some of your LinkedIn posts make a bit more sense to me now. now that I see where your vision is, because I must admit I was reading them thinking, how is this a delivery implementation type sort of content? So they definitely make more sense. But I started with, I had a vision for the Contractors Academy, and I started with a very simple, I want to double the size of 1,000 contractors businesses. I just don't think they know how to help themselves, and I think that is I'm an accountant by profession, so numbers always appear to me, and to be able to, they've all got a cap on their earnings. There's only so many days that they can work a year. There's only one of them typically in their business to provide that service. So how can they aspire to doubling the size of that? There's some obvious ways, around statements of work and that type of thing. But I know where you're coming from with that, because I think that's the anchor point to me. Everything that we do, is it going to allow one of our clients to double the size of their business?
Absolutely.
Along on that journey.
Yeah. And I think that you've hit on a really important point about what we've tried to do with both businesses, and it was a principle right from the beginning with Lightwork, is we don't want to sell days. We want to move away from that model, because it just ties you down, and it actually cheapens what you do to a certain extent, because then you're just back into the day rate race, and it's a race to the bottom if you're not careful. So what we've done with Lightwork is, and this, I think this is something that contractors can really think about, because they're so used to day rates, and it's a big shift in mindset. You've got to move. You absolutely got to move away from that. And it's a cliche, but it is about outcomes. It's about, what are you delivering for that client? And your client doesn't care if it takes 1 day or 10 days, as long as they get what they really want, what their outcome is. That's what they care about. And so you can package it up, and we offer now, we on Lightwork, we're moving towards subscription models. So it's moving away from a number of days that we deliver, have people on the ground, and it's saying, right, every month this is what we're going to deliver for you. And some months it might be quick, others the client doesn't care. All they care about is their outcomes. And obviously what we're trying to do as well is not only deliver what we've promised we'll deliver, but then the extra layer on top, which is the wow factor. And that's where you really start to get some traction with clients. And you don't have those 3 month, 6 month conversations about, it's the end of the contract, can we justify keeping them? It's are we getting value, or aren't we getting value?
And the outcomes are delivered to them on such a frequent basis that they never lose sight of what value you do deliver, because it's there every month. You're always, so it's a brilliant model. I mean, there's a retainer model in other businesses as well, but the subscription model where they can see the value on that regular basis, I think it's quite interesting. Not something I've thought about, to be honest with you, in the world that you live in sort of my day job as a program manager into big organizations. I typically do 3 to 6 to 12 month pieces of work, and the outcome is based on the duration that I'm there, not necessarily how many days I work, but how long I think it will take to deliver. but maybe the subscription model is one I will explore a little bit further with you on another occasion.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, we do a hybrid. So some of our accelerators are subscription, where we're delivering a new feature, workday feature, that will be a fixed price piece of work because, you know, it's a one-off.
Yeah.
It's effectively a project. But what we do is we just say it's going to cost X amount. This is what you get. We'll take full responsibility for delivery. This is what we need from you, but we'll minimize your time and disruption to your business as much as possible. And we're done on a fixed price basis. So we have that hybrid model. And underneath the covers, the analogy we use, I probably use it too much. It's a bit like if you're driving back on the motorway, the M25, it's 11 o'clock at night, it's pouring with rain, you break down the hard shoulder, the kids are in the back, they're tired, you phone up the AA, you don't care what the AA man or lady is how they're gonna fix your car. That's not your thoughts. You don't care if they've got a shiny new set of tools in their van. It's irrelevant to you how they fix your car. All you care about is getting home. It might be they take you in their van, they might fix your car, you don't care. And that's our thinking, is that, you know, we don't go on to our clients about how we're going to deliver it. We just say, this is what you're going to get. And sometimes the clients know what they want, but quite often, you know, that's only probably 80%. What we can do is say, well, based on our experience with other clients, we also think it's worth thinking about this, and this. And they go, okay, yeah, hadn't thought of that. Absolutely. And that's all just part of the service. So it's about that extra value.
It is, but you've also positioned your product, your service with an element of upsell as well. So you're able to bring in added value for potentially premium prices, or sometimes throw them in. You can mix and match depending on how valuable the lifetime value of the client is to you, you know. So you start to really evolve your offering to them, which is what the big guys do, and you know, we should be able to do that as well. So I think I'm gonna be watching you for the next few months. So what do the next few months, the next 12 months bring for you?
Gosh, okay. So I think with light work, we're looking to build a team. So from a business point of view, get the main, you know, we believe there's 4 key roles that we want to fill. So, you know, that's sales, that's finance, it's operations, it's delivery, and then it's kind of your HR admin type roles. So we want to fill those roles, which means that Stephen and I can elevate up and really look at the visionary stuff. It's, you know, doing the conferences, doing the podcast, doing the fun stuff, actually, where we're talking about our ideas rather than getting dragged down with the day-to-day stuff that just kills time. So that's one aspect. We've got the book coming out, which we're really excited about. We're upping on the social media. So you mentioned that. So we're doing a lot more, and we've laid the foundations. We're now going to get more product specific on our social media. We're going to be doing videos, setting up podcasts, all that sort of stuff. We're looking to obviously build our client base. So, you know, we've got some fantastic clients, and it's about increasing that now and bringing those on at a pace that we can easily manage without, you know, meaning that we let anyone down. And I think, you know, we're really excited about the next 12 months with light work. It's, you know, the potential's there. What we're doing now, the clients love. So yeah, really passionate. And with Assured Thought, it's kind of the same. It's, you know, we're doing the testing and quality assurance, and to a certain extent, we're just about to take on a new resource, a permanent managing director, who is going to help with business development and working with our clients and day-to-day delivery. And you know, again, it's the same model. We're kind of able to repeat some of these models in both businesses, which is great. So when you learn something in one business, you can apply it to the other business. So yes, it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. And I think just being able to think that far ahead and get staff in to take that pressure off, it does make you know, that passion stays in the business. It doesn't become hard work. It doesn't become, oh, you've got to do absolutely everything, because we can't be good at everything, you know. And sometimes you just got to, and I've got a few new team members in my team, which has bought me time. You know, I can actually, relax over weekends now. I can actually start to think about what the future looks like and start to plan, you know, and do that sort of strategy thinking. So yeah, I don't have an office though, so I may be coming around to yours and just having a little nosy.
Anytime. That's a really good point. I mean, it's a big step, especially when you set up a business, because taking on anybody is a risk, or you think it's a risk. And I think that's something that we've learned ourselves, is that first of all, you don't scrimp. You go to suppliers. When you use suppliers, we don't necessarily go with the cheapest or most expensive, but we go with the ones with the reputation, the award winners, the ones that that resonate with us, and we can work with them. And you know, because you can't do everything, and they will have that skill set, be it finance or social media or videos, or it doesn't matter what it is. There are specialists out there, so use them. And you don't have to take people on full time. You can use them as and when you need them, so you can reduce your costs that way. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're taking on permanent resources now, but actually, you know, we've found a way whereby, you know, the revenue we're bringing in, we can pay for those resources, and they more than pay for themselves in next to no time. And there's I mean, how many companies do we know that are caught in that founder, you know, they've started the founder journey, and then they're stuck. They're in that wilderness. They're trying to do it all themselves. It becomes stressful. It becomes weekend working, evening working, and they're drowning, and it ceases to be fun very quickly.
It does. And that solopreneur, you know, approach, you know, they start up, the founders, the one-man bands. It's scary when you're on your own, if you've got nobody that you can go out and talk to, and nobody. And you know, you don't want to put it on your families. You don't want to put that fear, that sort of, oh my God, because it's in the moment, isn't it? But you leave them with that thought of, oh, what's going to happen to the mortgage this month, and what if she doesn't really want to do it? So you need that network, and maybe, you know, that's the other benefit of having a partner there, because you can have those conversations and both walk away and then go back to the family, go back to friends, and just enjoy the life. So yeah,
absolutely, it's a real leveler, you know. But as a solopreneur, you those peaks and troughs, it's an emotional roller coaster, right? Actually, with a partner, you can level it out a little bit, so you enjoy the good times together, but you can also share and lift each other up when you have the down days, because they're inevitable as well. You're going to have days where you think, what are we doing? But it's that's part of the fun, and it is nice to share that. I mean, I've been 4 years on my own, so to have a business partner, I've really enjoyed that side of it. It's been great.
I think that is the bit that would make me dip my toe again, because to be able to have somebody who goes, yeah, we get it, you know, and I'm as passionate about it as you are, because I must admit, I've been a bit scared since the last episode. I don't need it. I'll just, you know, it's so much easier on my own. But speaking with you, maybe now I just might go out and try it again.
Well, yeah, hopefully you'll find, and if you find the right one, then it's manna from heaven, isn't it? So
well, listen, thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely talking to you, and as I say, we'll get this out and we'll share it with you before we do anything with it, so you can see. But yeah, make sure you send me, I think I've got your website details, and I'll show you, well, I'll take the bio off LinkedIn, and then you can always tweak it if that's what you want on the website. And yeah, we'll start to promote it.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, well, no, thank you, Karen. I know you're doing a great job for your guys as well. So, you know, and thank you for inviting me on. I really, really appreciate it, and taking your time.
It's great just to catch up, isn't it, with like-minded people. So thanks again for your time. All right,
no problem.